So, the years sort of meld together when you start thinking, 25, 30 years ago how things happened and stuff like that. But Sensei never came and said, these are Tatsuo Kumite. Or you hear the story of the secret scrolls of Isshin-ryu, okay? Well, he's like anybody else, and now that I got the dojo redone, I don't have that stage like I used to because that's my office now. And so what I did was I took a little bookcase that I had somewhere else, and the things that I used during class, I just put it in there. It's right next to the shonen. And I've got a book sitting right there. It's got all the Tatsuo Kumite in it. It's a lot more defined. Sensei rewrote it a little bit and put a lot more verbiage in there to explain it a lot better, because when at the Agina dojo, when you would walk out of Tatsuo's house and you get on that little porch there, he had chart 1, chart 2 listed, and some American at some point in time, probably John Bardasevich, maybe the guy that was before him, because John Bardasevich didn't get there until after Sensei Harold was gone. So I think John Bardasevich, his first tour was 61 or 62 or something like that. So Sensei was already gone. And don't quote me on that, but I know, it's sort of close in that time frame. And so somewhere, somehow, somebody typed these things up for Tatsuo in English so the GIs could read this stuff. So he had chart 1, chart 2 up on the wall, and he had the Kumite techniques listed up on the wall. But like, the description is left hand grab, right wrist. Okay, what am I supposed to do with that? Left hand grab, okay, now what do we do? So Sensei went in, and there's a lot more verbiage on each one. And they're grouped together. The order's not important. The order doesn't make any difference. Now they get gradually more complex as you go through them. To do them all, you actually have to have mats and stuff like that, because there's a couple of them that are a little bit, they get a little bit involved. But the basic beginning ones you can do anywhere. And in the dojo, we treated it just like Kihon. So if I'm sitting there like this, and I go like this, and I pull back and I punch, I don't have to have somebody grab my wrist to do that. Now, these people starting out Ku rank, they probably do. Okay, but anybody Shodan and above, you got a pretty good idea what's going to happen when somebody grabs your wrist. And you should know through your regular training the focus that you should have, or how you have to release that wrist. I mean, anybody that's got any training, somebody reaches up and grabs them like this and goes here and goes boom. No big deal. So I would sit there and drill them as a Kihon. One, we'd stand here like this and go. 2, and we'd stand here like this and go like this. And then we stand here like this, go like this, and so on and so forth, just through them. So big difference learning something, training like that, as opposed to somebody reaching up and grabbing you. Because the reaching up and grabbing has to have a certain level of intent. And if I walk up to Sensei halfway and I go like this, and I reach and grab him like this, that's not much of a threat or anything. So just like the Kihon, it's a good idea to practice these just on your own, not thinking that you have to have a partner every single time. You don't have a partner when you drill Kihon. You don't have a partner when you drill kata. So you shouldn't have to have a partner to drill these in order to commit them to memory. Okay? So these Kumite techniques aren't meant to be killer. There's not going to be anything fancy in this, but it teaches you timing, it teaches you balance, it teaches you all of these things in a simple application where you can take this out of a kata, you can take it out of a sequence of katas, and you can say, oh, that's what you're doing there. That's important. That's important on a basic level as you're starting to learn, that you have this. Okay? So, that's what he said. He says, you guys, he says, all of this stuff that comes from kata, he says, there's some of them that we can pick out in 3 or 4 kata. There's some of them that are unique to one kata. Nowhere in the explanations, either from Tatsu's explanation or from Sensei's expanded explanation, does it say stances and things like that, because you can pick them out of a couple, 2, 3 different places. So that's something that's left unique to you training-wise. Okay, so these first few series and stuff like that, and everybody says, well, what stance? Okay, that's something that you have to work to see what works best for you. Now, stance-wise, I don't care. I use them all equally across the board. Some people, physical conditions, injuries, likes, dislikes, some people like different stances better than others and stuff. I don't pick and choose, I never did, because I was told it wasn't my choice to pick and choose, you just train it. Don't worry about it, because there might be someday, somehow, somewhere that you're gonna have to use it whether you like it or not. Let's start this a little bit, okay? So, we're gonna stand, he's gonna grab my wrist, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna punch him. That's all it is. Okay, left hand, grab right wrist. Okay, just start that. Just start that with your partner. Please. Okay, everything that we just talked about has to happen in this. Okay, it's not me simply standing here like this and going like that. Everything that I just talked about for the first hour is focused in this technique. Okay, so I'm not going to do this. I don't want this off the lunging side. I'm going to move my body at the same time. You see how he starts to get pulled? Okay, here I'm going to put Sanchen focus to it. Again, I'm just talking about just that. Just that. It's not a big movement, but my whole body is doing that. It's not me just doing this. So what happens then is I go, he's in the exact same position when I did the side block to him. Okay? His body is so off right now, the only thing that he can do is try to recover and get back to balance, and that's when I'm going to hit him. What happens when you fall? What happens when you fall? Stand back up, right? You're riding your bike down the street, you're a little kid, you fall, you but you get back up, you get on your bike, and you ride again. Okay, so his natural reaction when I take him this is he's going to go back to where his balance is. That's when I'm going to hit him, because that's when he's most vulnerable. That's the timing aspect of this. I want to hit him when he's so vulnerable, he's not going to have any clue what happened to him until I explain it to him after I help him get up. Okay? So you have to make sure, again, you guys don't just sit here and do this and hit and do this and hit. You have to feel how this works. Okay? So I'm going bang right here. If he tries to punch, then bang. Look how his hands are. Look how his hands are right now. Would you do any technique like this? No. Okay? Person's unbalanced is the same as a weight. I would love to have a 15-pound kettlebell in here and put it in this hand and see how long he can hold that. His structure is not correct for anything right now. And it's nothing that he did wrong. I did that to him because he attacked me. I did that to him. He didn't do anything wrong. There you go. Yeah. There you go. What's important. Okay, so now we're going to go to the second one, and there's a series of 3 of these in there. And we're basically drawing these 3 from Seiyuchin Kata. Okay, so I'm going to get a double grab. He's going to grab me with both wrists. Okay, so this is done one of 2 ways. I'm going to reach in very purposefully. I'm going to grab my own fist, and I'm going to step in and do this to him and hit him with an elbow, and then I'm going to hit him with bridge nose. And I keep this hand here just in case I want to drill him one more time. There's no reason to draw it to my hip. There's no reason whatsoever. Tatsuo showed the elbow. Mr. Harrell added the back fist. Okay, in Shimabuku Sensei's terminology, all it was this. And you see you guys how I'm going to bump him. I'm going to put a little contact with him. I'm not going to do anything to hurt him, but you have to feel his body move that way. You can't just step in and draw it short. You want to give him that little bump, be nice to each other, and he's right there. He's right there. Okay? Some people I've seen do it like this, more of a straightforward. I feel a little bit restricted and leaning right there. So I step in, I go offset Shiko, and when I do it, I want to make sure that when I look, that my front foot is inside his back foot, or inside the foot on this side of his body. If I get here too wide, my groin's open, like we were talking with the stance last night. Okay, so I want to be on the framework of I'm just inside his body, so I line this up. See, with 2 hands, he can't stop this. The structure of my body. Okay, Tatsuo's like this. Marines are like this. So Tatsuo put a little help in there with the other hand. Practice it that way. Practice it that way. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, bang. Okay? Go there. Okay, now feel how your body is. Allow this. Here. It gives you more structure and a straighter line to go in here. With your foot turned that way, you're going more this way. When you turn the foot this way, that is this way.
So you see how, when he steps in, so you see how his hips are pointing in line here, this line, horizontal line, this vertical line, it's going straight.
There you go. See the difference? There you go.
And I'm going to...
Okay, both sides get to do it? Yes. Okay, let's go to number 2. This is the one I like more. He's going to do the same grab. I'm going to grab it this way. I'm going to step. I'm going to slide in. Bridge of nose. Okay? So you see where I end up with my foot inside him. That's what I have to do. That's what I have to do when I drive in with it. Elbow is always supported by back hand. Multiple reasons that we could go ad nauseum for an hour that this has to be this way. Okay, don't do this. Has to be this way. And it's my stance that slides in and hit him. I'm not going like this. I'm not going like that at all. Okay? So I step 1, 2, 3. Piece of cake. Okay? I think this one's more practical. This is the one I like doing. Okay? You see it again? I'm going to grab, I'm going to time this to break his grip. I'm going to step in and hit him. I don't care where it hits. And I'm going to hit whatever I hit here with my bridge of nose. I'm not going to pick out a target. Bang. Okay?
You're going to take
That's fine.
right to the
So
center.
instead of grabbing over, just turn your right arm under.
I'm not taking it, I'm trying to do
Yep,
all that.
you're
All I'm
under
doing
this
is
time.
pulling this, the elbows can stay on that line.
Right here. Step just next to it.
Drive.
Now, slide in. Yes. Bridge of nose. Nice.
There.
All you gotta do is work on your distance and your timing a little bit. That's just repetition. Good.
Oh, I think they're very close to being.
I'm taking it.
Here.
And I'm just gonna take this squeeze down.
Just like, keep doing
You have more. in
You're
your
gonna move them like that. Just set them straight.
I was thinking about that.
So then I'm gonna take this, grab it here.
Good.
As you get to this point here, when you grab, I grab this, I'm grabbing here.
Elbow.
This was too late, so.
Bring
As
this.
the rotates over,
Focus.
Bring that over.
see that palm is already, and I don't have to do any adjustments. It's set, it's ready.
It's the only time I have
There you go.
focus.
Sure.
Okay.
Now shuffle in with it.
Yeah.
It's like,
And this,
so,
you can put a little bit on that, but it's not, it's not. Yeah, there you go.
Just lost my train of thought. Okay, let's go to the next one. I'll come back to it. This is the fun one. This is the fun one. Okay, again, we're going to get a two-hand. Now, stance, posture is completely, this has to be right. Okay? I'm not going to raise my fist up from this position. I'm going to drop to here. And you see where my foot position is. I'm going to punch down only to the point that it's a normal punch that I would stand here like this. You see nothing changed. It's just like me going like this. I'm not putting anything more, anything less to it. It's the exact same thing that you train in Kihon, that you train through Kata, that you advance into Kumite. Okay? So I'm going here. I'm going to gather here, same as we just did, same as we just did. So all we're doing is changing the release. Okay? Do's and don'ts. All the time I'm going to see this, or this is worse, because look at my way to him right now, right? So you've got to find that middle ground, and you have to make this feel just like your reverse punch. Okay? the technique is not quantified by how far I separate his hands. It's just quantified that I separate his hands. All I gotta do is get him released. Just right there. Bam. If he's still hanging on to a little bit, I don't care. It doesn't make any difference to me. Okay? Try that and we'll work it. Yes. There you go.
There we go. Grab, can you grab it?
There you go.
Whenever I move on, that stays there, all I do is, this is my compound position here, I just look at it.
Do it again, just move that.
Grab it. There you go.
There you go.
What you didn't do it.
I wanted to.
Set your feet down.
You didn't go.
You just let the punch rise. Just step here.
So we're gonna step and do it down.
Bam. Yes. That deliberate, just like
So
that.
my hands are loose.
Don't try to make
And
it too
I'm
fast.
gonna take this and you're gonna reinforce.
With the punch, so the change is in stances. So with the punch, if I'm sitting here like this and I punch down, this can't move too much. Once I get to this second little click in height, if I start to do this, my back heel will start to come up, and now I've got this weight on the back of my foot, and now this is bad. This is bad structure back here. But when I do shiko like this, I can get a good drop in that punch. Okay, it's like when a person goes into a coach and they have predetermined things how to hit a bat, to throw a ball. The coach is going to refine that, and the coach is going to change that because the coach is the expert. That's why he's the coach. Okay, same thing with Sensei. You're going to come in with predetermined ideas, how I should punch, how I should kick, how I should do this. And Sensei, it's his job, my job, our job, to coach that out of them so that they do it properly. Proper karate body mechanics, not now. When you do this,
But if the target's not there, it's not there. But if it is, I need to hit it.
yes. See, you hear that? Okay.
Set you
And
down.
just saying,
Don't turn your shoulder like this, do I?
There.
Yeah.
Now, instead of so much here, step
Oh.
off center, but still in the middle of my
There's a really bad
step.
spot.
I'm sorry, I'll
There's a really bad spot.
not good at
Right there.
That still lines
Turn
up.
that to me.
It still lines up because after you get here, you can always adjust this. Move that.
Oh. You made my good. You made it.
Okay, so cross grab. Okay, and I'm going to do this. Boom. That's all it is. Okay? The important part of this is that with my trained weapon, I'm going to attack his thumb. I'm not going to attack his whole hand. If I do this, it turns into a fight. And I see people try to do this. I can't do it. It's not a fight. So it's like I'm going to take the back shuto edge of my hand, or I'm going to take this. When I do what people call a ridge hand strike, I don't tuck that thumb under there and hit like this. I hit with this. So it comes up this way. Okay? So when Sensei grabs my hand, I'm going to go like this and attack that thumb. Do you hear his foot? You all hear his foot hit? Okay, and that's, boom, it's just right to there. Okay, you guys, you don't have to do this fast. Speed hides mistakes. Okay, so 1, 2, bang right there. You see how he falls into that? You gotta be careful. And you see where our feet go to? So we're here, and I'm in a position now that he can do the exact same thing to me that I'm doing to him. All his weapons are ready to bear. So with cutting this and us both moving forward into each other, boom. Okay? So little step, boom. Don't go back here, just right to about here. Hit with the power of your body and get that little pull. Okay, get a partner. Yeah. Now start neutral, and then steps.
Right here, make sure you have this, because this may be looking at
Okay, thanks.
basically parallel.
One more straight.
Don't go Chico.
So
You're dropping too low to make that's when you go like this with that elbow too high to get up. So keep it, yeah.
You right there?
There you go.
more weight, more weight.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
There. So that as this goes, so if you think about pushing, pulling, all the punching, when this goes this
Stop.
way,
Yeah.
this goes.
For the last two times, yeah. Right about there. Right about there. So then this is perfect to just go.
Two, yeah.
So there's a little drill that one might do here a little bit earlier. When he punches, you see how that slides up? I'm not stopping it here. I want him to continue going this way. And whether I go like this and attack the back of his hand, or whether I go like this and hit first and then hit, or whether I go like this and hit, it doesn't make any difference. Once I get to this position, how I trigger the hitting doesn't matter. It's getting in that position. Okay? So like this, you know, all of the look at how his body is right now. All of those things come into play. So the one that we're going to work is this is the dangerous hand. And you have to resist the urge to not over punch with it. You have to let the timing of the technique work properly and be extremely careful that you don't hit the other person too hard, because he's going to walk right into this. Okay, so it's going to go this way. That's all I want, is that contact here. As he pulls this hand to hit on the other side, all I do is follow it in. Okay? Bang. Okay? I'm not going like that. That's something else. Okay? These come up together, and the weight of my stance hitting and how that falls in is what hits there. And then I'm going to do equal pull, because I want this on my hip. From here, I would do that. Okay? You see again? We good? Boom. Okay? Who's doing the technique? You're gonna, okay. So you just punch. Yep. Lazy striking is a bad thing. And what I mean by that is if we go like this and we do a technique, he throws a punch, and I go here and I block it and I go and I hit him like that. That's not the punch that I want to develop, and that's not the contact I want him to feel, just for the sake of hitting someone. Okay? So when he punches, I'm going to go right there. Full power, 100%. He feels it, but I'm not going to do any damage to him. I'm going to pull a little bit short. Shuto's a different animal. It's easy to, it's not easy, but that punch is an easier control by the mechanics of your body. This is tougher because if you don't do, now Shuto, I'm not going to lock that elbow out. It stays bent a little bit this way. I don't want to lock it out. So going like this and locking it out to say, well, yeah, I'm going to hit through him. That's not what this is. Shuto's a rounded technique coming in this way at an angle is completely different than something driving in on a straight line as far as the way that you want to hit. So when we do this technique to do the same thing, when he punches at me and I come here, I'm going to hit right there. I'm going to go right there with focus, and I'm going to stop that right there. So he knows, he can feel that come in that way. His eyes blink. Okay, just like hers. Okay, you have to do that. I don't want to come in and go like this and go, that doesn't do me any good, doesn't do him any good. It certainly doesn't develop my technique to be sharp and precise. So when I go to hit him, the only thing I'm doing is I'm just going that little bit tiny more that's going to hit him. So same thing I showed her over there. Okay, trust me, don't move. Just don't move. Okay, so I'm going to go like this, like that, like that, like that, like that. So he can feel that. He can feel that. It doesn't do me any good to go and punch like that, or come up and go like that, or come up and go like that. Okay? Here, here, here. Now, just for the sake of talking, you guys, so what if we're standing here like this and he punches with that hand? I'm gonna do these. The only difference is with this hand up here, I'm probably gonna trap his hand and hold him here. And Sensei would trap his hand and go. Okay? So if we're standing here like this, I can't sit there and say, to defend myself, 100% sure that he's gonna punch with that hand or he's gonna punch with that hand. So if he punches with this hand, I'm gonna go do this. If he punches with this hand, I go, oh, oh! No. Right?
So whatever you.
Nice!
This
He
way.
didn't hit him! What are you pausing for? You were so surprised by what happened there.
Seems like a punch. When you do it, you're letting that come in.
Don't stop! That was perfect. That's probably the best technique you've done in your life.
That's going on, so that it's a race from here to here.
Now you gotta replicate it every time now that I've seen you do it.
There.
Boom, yes.
That one had a.
Now, everybody look over here. I want you to see the smile on this young lady's face. Tell them what you just said. You've never had a technique work like that before for you.
Yeah.
I'm like, why are you so? And she says, I've never had anything work like that. She said, it almost seems easy. Okay. You treat her respectfully because she's a white belt and she's a beginner, but she has to be put through the same trials at her rank as she would anybody else. You don't give her anything. It doesn't do her any good. You tell them that, or else give me their name and I'll send them an email. Okay? So, person punches on the other side of this technique. Okay, we're not going to change anything. And again, if I'm sitting here like this, and he throws this, and I'm expecting this. Okay, when he throws this punch off this side, I can't go, ooh, and do this. I have to be able to make that same thing work on both sides, because you can't think in the midst of something that's already initiated. That's like saying you can curve or stop a bullet once it comes out of the chamber. So when he attacks in, I'm going to go like this. I'm going to drop this down. I'm going to go elbow strike. This is probably worse. This is probably, I usually say the inside's worse. Now we're being really nice with the elbow, but this you guys, and this sneaks into kata. The reason this sneaks into kata in so many places. So I'm going one, I wrap this around and drop him. So I take my trained shuto because I show this and I see people start to do this. The reason that it works is I'm doing this on the inside of his arm. Okay? Boom. That elbow sucks. 1, 2. This doesn't make any difference. You can hit that wherever you want to. I might even switch it and maybe go like this and hit him on the backside and just bring it at a different angle. Not a big deal. You want to try that? That's where I want to get. Oops, sorry. You guys redo this one all day. Okay. See on the back. Remember the grab?
Yes. That's so much fun.
Okay. So here's what we'll just do this. We'll do maybe this until lunch, and then we'll start something after lunch. So I bring this up and this around at the same time. This pulls back. I don't want this here, and that's too much in there. So once this collapses, and when I drop this elbow, I'll pull that hand back a little bit, so it don't move. So it's in the same place, like as we started on the inside. And then just hit him across the bridge with the knife hand. No big deal. Okay? So this, you guys, this training of will be nice. Everybody watch this. get your little board out again, okay? When he attacks with that hand, I'm not hitting him like this, I'm hitting him like this, at this angle. Feel that? At this angle, okay? When Ayada talked about doing technique, what he always talked about doing was attacking the limbs that bend. Places in your body that bend, where ligaments are connected and where places bend is extremely vulnerable. Okay, so when I train this piece of wood, I have this, when he steps in and punches, that's where I'm,
It sounded worse than it was.
that's where I'm thinking, that's where I'm thinking of hitting, okay? Too much speed.
You have to move this down and then it just staggers.
Feel that, don't you? Okay.
There, yes.
You okay? I'm only gonna do that once for you.
Keep this
What?
Same position here from the Kumite.
What?
I've attempted to do that to him before.
Yes,
You do
yeah,
that, Howard.
yeah.
We'll do it. He's punching at you and hitting